Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to High on History. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Liz. And tonight we are going to be talking about South Africa. Some people, some places, the history that's there, and some of what's probably been forgotten.
Probably a lot of what's been forgotten.
Well, we can't talk about what's been forgotten, but we can talk about, we will be talking about how and
our feelings on that topic, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to start tonight, well, I guess talking about the region. I wanna talk about the people who live there now and how cool they are.
Or the Khoisan?
The Khoisan speaking people. So that's a group, and it includes two tribes, the San tribe and the Khoikhoi. Yeah, the Khoikhoi, and they are. Well, the San tribe is the oldest bloodline in Africa. Their bloodline is the one of the very oldest in the world. 200,000 years they have lived in the region of South Africa.
200,000 years?
200,000 years.
I had it here 22,000 years. Wow.
Hold on. Well, let me go ahead and fact check myself. I did take extensive notes this week.
But I got my 22,000 year notes from the Green Sahara video that we keep returning to, which, apologies, we did not attach it.
Yeah, we forgot to attach it. I will attach it tonight.
And
here this says, together the San and Khoikhoi form part of the broader Khoisan people.
Okay.
A term that encompasses the diverse languages, cultures, and traditions of southern Africa's indigenous populations. The Khoisan people share a common ancestry, with genetic studies suggesting that they developed from other African populations around 200,000 years ago. Okay, so I guess it doesn't say that they've lived in that area for 200,000 years, but I was pretty sure they had, or 100,000 years. I believe they've been in the area for 100,000 years.
Oh, okay.
Let me check that.
Yeah, no, well, I'm about 22,000 years in the area of South Africa, but I personally believe that they may have even occupied at some point Shimlaka, because it's been occupied for over 30,000 years. And that's a cave where a lot of major languages developed, including the Bantu language, which is a variation from the Khoisan language.
Yes, yeah, they're very related.
So Bantu is a combination of Niger-Congo click dialect, and then it was also a combination of the Khoisan click dialect, and then Bantu just drops the clicking.
Right, and to be fair, even the Khoisan click dialect has dialect within it, because the San tribe and the Khoikhoi do not speak exactly the same.
Yep.
But they're all those tonal languages. They are all speaking
tonal, which is the oldest language.
Those tonal languages do appear to be, this is really fascinating, those languages appear to be the root of the Asiatic languages, Japanese, Chinese,
a lot of languages carry over.
And probably have roots in some, maybe has roots in some Native American. So the reason I wanted to start with the San tribe and the Khoikhoi, is because I kind of want to begin where we're going to end.
Yeah.
So a lot of people actually know these two tribes almost exclusively by the derogatory terms that the white colonialists assigned to them.
Yeah.
So the Khoikhoi were referred to for a long time as the Hottentots. And the San tribe are actually still referred to as the Bushmen.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, we do know. Like, and Bushman, I guess, has taken on a less, I don't know if it's still considered as but it was initially intended to be a derogatory term. So, you know, when talking about the Khoisan people, the San tribe, or the Khoikhoi, I just, at first I thought it would give people context because those are probably the names that they think they know these tribes from. But those were just derogatory terms assigned to them by colonialists.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of makes sense. I don't think a group of people would call themselves the Bushmen.
Yeah, no.
But that doesn't sound like something that sounds racist.
Now they do occupy the South African region.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the San tribe was there first, the Khoikhoi comes shortly after.
Oh.
And they have thousands of years of interacting with each other.
Yeah.
But the San tribe remain hunter-gatherer to this very day.
Yeah.
And the Khoikhoi start off as largely pastoralists. You know, they've got herds that they trade together, they do business together, and yet each did maintain their own way of life.
Oh, wow.
So they lived in synchronicity, in harmony with each other.
Wow, that's actually really flippin' cool. So what you're saying is that for thousands of years, these two different tribes lived peacefully and just intermingled, didn't cross over other than maybe like a marriage or two for fresh blood, and some trading, but they didn't like cross and merge entirely.
These people don't keep written records,
yeah.
Right? And of course, South Africa's landscape has changed many, many times in the time that they've been there.
Yeah.
Do we know if they've ever skirmished and warred, how much intermarrying they did, et cetera, through the thousands and thousands of years they've been there? No, we have no idea. We don't have their history. We never cared to look or to find out. We don't. We're closing in on their land. Like, the Khoikhoi are really screwed. A lot of their pastoral way of life was kind of consumed by the 21st century, and then the San tribe are also screwed because hunting and gathering on most of the land is illegal. It's illegal for them to be as they are. Wow. On their own lands where they have been for ages, for thousands and thousands of years.
Wow.
So this was, a constant frustration that we both ran into in our research this week. It was awful again and again to see how much was destroyed, just purely as a just purely for the suffering and exploitation of the people who literally gave us absolutely everything, as we are going to spend weeks and weeks proving. Let's move on to some cool stuff, because this is getting heavy here.
Yeah.
I want to talk about two specific locations in South Africa that are really neat, and for different reasons, but I would not put either of these achievements ahead of the other, and both these caves are in South Africa. So we're going to start with Wonderwerk Cave. Any of you who follow neat way past history, or maybe even have watched TikTok or Facebook Reels for a while, may have run across this one.
I talked about Wonderwerk in my last episode as
that
well.
Too, that too, right? So Wonderwerk Cave is specifically neat for its antiquity, its age, and how long
it's been occupied.
Yeah, because it's been occupied by Homo species since before we were before we were Homo sapiens. It's 2 million years old.
Yeah.
And it was occupied by Homo habilis first.
Uh-huh.
Then it was occupied by Homo erectus, and Homo erectus learned to do something really cool in this cave. Jordan, you wanna
Fire!
Fire! Homo erectus appears to have had a controlled, repeated fire at the back of this cave. We know that this was not a lightning-caused fire.
It was about 30 meters into the cave.
There was surprisingly sophisticated stone tools even from back at this Homo erectus.
It was littered with Alderon artifacts to prove and Alderon artifacts with stone tools.
The Alderon, yeah.
Alderon? Oldowan?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
I thought you said Alderon.
Did I? I don't know.
I don't know. We both have colds. We can't. Don't ever trust our pronunciation. Oh my goodness! Don't ever trust our pronunciation. Okay. Let's see here. So the fire that they found is 1.8 million years old. 1.8 million years old.
I thought 1.7, and I thought I was pushing it 1.7. I thought I was exaggerating a little bit when I found 1.7.
My AI spit out around 1.8.
Really?
And I think it's really important, and this might be a good moment to point out, that a lot of these dates are approximates, and particularly when we're this far back in time. We can give or take maybe 1,000 years in any direction. I noticed a lot of times we would look up an artifact, and one article would say, it was dated to 100,000 years, and then another article would say it was dated to 113,000 years, and another article would say that it was dated to 99,000 years.
And then so come out to find out that it's never been dated anyway.
Well, there was, so Adam's calendar. This is another thing we need to talk about. We need to talk about how wild claims that have not been substantiated are actually part of the erasure of African history. Adam's calendar, I think, is a really good...
Yeah, so in the last episode, I was talking about Adam's calendar as well. And I had mentioned it was a 300,000-year-old site.
Yeah.
And then and we started researching it because it's in South Africa.
And more places than not did. We found a variety of dates: 100,000 years, 200,000 years,
3,050, like all sorts of numbers.
Lots of people were
old.
Just running with this.
Yeah. And we come to find out through a couple other
the prehistory guys. Let's give them absolute credit. So we're
guys.
We like to fact check with them because they're super solid like that.
They do seem to have some fairly up-to-date information.
Not only up-to-date, but they're not out there to... Yeah, and they're not out there for clickbait, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, not at all. So they mentioned... somebody, I guess, wrote them and asked, hey, what about Adam's calendar? And they kind of shook their heads and chuckled in that British gentleman sort of way. Mm-hmm. And basically said that their problem was that the claim hadn't been substantiated. It has not actually been dated.
It's never been looked at, and the person who invented it was literally looking for
discovered it.
Yeah, discovered it. It was a claim to fame hound. He had been known to make amazing...
Wait, let's stop short of defamation. Did you fact check that?
He has been known to make wild claims. His name showed up on a couple other sites, pretty outdated, a couple other researches that I found that have been disproven, that I've had I can't do this for my subject.
Yeah. So you got to watch out for that because there's a lot of this
claim to fame
claim to fame stuff. And then if you go to research some of these sites, this is another thing. I wasn't planning on touching on this quite yet.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm going to because it actually came up when I was looking for facts about the subject I was just about to talk about, Blombas Cave. Blombas Cave is super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. But one of the things that really frustrated me when I started looking stuff up, I ran a YouTube search on it. And the number of YouTube videos that were like, Anunnaki?
Anunnaki.
It was
cringe.
So cringe. So here's the thing.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, I am just absolutely convinced that the entire Anunnaki myth, this whole trying to, again, steal African history from Africa and
give
stick it in Sumeria,
which is in the Middle East
the Middle East, right? And it all stems from this incredibly racist, horrendous notion that African
Paleolithic African people.
Well, actually, they didn't even stick to the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, Chalcolithic, all the way on hundreds and hundreds of years, and they basically said they're too unintelligent to do any of this. Everything in our research in our research says that not only were they perfectly intelligent or not, they literally brought it to the whole rest of the world, all the way. Their intelligence, math, medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely everything that we think of as being somehow the invention of the Sumerians or the Greeks or the Romans, it's actually an invention of Africa.
Yeah.
And was brought to those people.
Yeah.
You know. So this, I don't know if you guys can tell, this really gets my blood pressure up.
This really does boil.
So again, yes, no, it's got me so boiling. So let's return to something semi-positive again. I swear we did not get on this show in order to turn into ranting people, but this is rant-worthy.
This episode was kind of, I was expecting to be ranting.
Oh, it's gonna be, and I'm not even done ranting. Oh, I'm so not done. Anyway, but for funsies, let's go back to what I thought, and I really wish, okay, so by next week we may have a new setup in here. I'm going to try to arrange things so that I can actually reach my camera, click over, and show you guys pictures of what we're looking at. And I'm so disappointed that I didn't have that set up by this week, because I'd love for you guys just to see the interest of Blombas Cave. It is so beautiful.
I'd live there.
I would live there, right on
the UNESCO World Heritage Site.
It is, and it's at the very, very southern tip, right there on the ocean. I mean, if you're standing at the edge of Blombas Cave, you are looking out onto this gorgeous coastline and this big, beautiful ocean. It's an incredible cave, and very early humans knew that too.
Yeah.
They found this and they were like, "Ooh, yes, this is good." So,
so it seems like in my notes I didn't find anything about Blombas Cave, so I didn't touch on that one at all. So I know nothing about this one.
Okay. Well, it's been occupied by Homo sapiens for about 100,000 years.
Okay.
Which really causes me to wonder if the ancestors of the San tribe were the people that we're talking about here. The same area. So I've been curious. I mean, I haven't seen anybody make anything resembling that claim.
No actual claim, but here we are speculating.
But here we are speculating. Because, for about 100,000 years, Homo sapiens, about 100,000 years ago, Homo sapiens inhabited it. And we found the most amazing stuff in there. It appears that the first time humans started making artistic drawings was here in Blombas Cave. And they took a piece of red ochre. And we know that there was more to this piece. We don't know what the whole pattern was. We have no idea what this piece originally was. You can see it is split off, like all the lines cut off in like a weird sort of way. And so we know the piece is broken off of something larger. All we've got left is this piece. But this piece of ochre had these sort of carved lines in various patterns.
Yeah.
There's lots of speculation about those lines, but it's largely believed to be the first art. That, to me, though, I mean, as cool as that is, I'll bet the more we look in Africa, the less that's going to be the first art. But what is going to be super cool about Blombas Cave forever and ever and all time is that it was used as a workshop.
What?
It was used as a workshop. They would build fires.
Okay.
And they would render fat from animal bones and stuff, right? They would render fat, and they would take the red ochre, which is really heavy in iron, that's what gives it its red color, and charcoal, and they would pulverize and mix that all up in abalone shells.
Oh, wow.
To make red liquid paint. And this is the first time we have evidence of people actually making paint.
I feel like I touched on that. I think my information combined Wonderwerk Cave and Blombas. I feel like I said something. I might not have said something in the last episode. It sounds familiar to me, though.
Well, we watched that documentary together, and I was just blown away. Yeah, and I was just blown away because they ground that up, and we don't know whether they were painting themselves or whether they painted other things, but they were definitely making paint in there. And we learned a bunch of stuff about their diet. So at this point, human beings know there were very sophisticated tools. They were eating a variety of grains, a variety of land animals. So they were definitely hunting and gathering. They were also eating fish. They were eating fish. They were absolutely using the ocean.
So they knew how to, probably make a net then at that point.
We don't have any evidence of how they fished. We have the fish bones. We have evidence of them eating and digesting fish. I don't know exactly what that. I did not look. But yeah, we know that they were eating. They knew to have a wide variety in their diet.
Okay, cool.
And then also they had shells and adornments. You know, these people were starting to adorn themselves, dress themselves up. So that makes Blombas Cave just another amazing.
How old was the people living in Blombas Cave?
100,000 years ago.
What?
Right around the time I said the San people got there.
That's crazy because Mayaterian people in North Africa at the same time as doing this.
Oh!
Adorning themselves with shells and stuff like that.
Yep, right there at the 100,000 mark, yeah.
Yep, right there at the 100,000 mark. They're doing the exact same thing on the opposite side of the continent.
Oh, that's amazing. That is so cool. That is so cool. So, that was the fun stuff. And we're going to add in an extra little episode, a shorter episode about the Yishengo bone separately, which does deserve to be covered. It's also from South Africa, but it's dated to 23,000 years ago, so it's a little bit further ahead in time, and so we're just going to give it its own little thing. We'll be moving to other parts of the continent, but before we go this evening, I need to rant just a little bit longer.
I kind of agree. I feel like a lot of South African history got robbed and just completely erased.
And not just South African history. Everywhere we went.
All of it, we kept running into that wall.
We kept running into, we're not there yet. I guess we're going to get to some preview information. At some point, we're going to cover Great Zimbabwe.
I can't wait.
And it's going to be a wonderful, oh my God, we're going to have fun with that. But part of the story of Great Zimbabwe is how it was denied as being an African city at all. Over and over and over again, when white archaeologists and white anthropologists and white naturalists and various scientists and stuff, in order to continue to justify the economic exploitation of Africa, it's people, it's land, it's resources, but specifically it's people.
Yeah.
Every time we would find something cool that Africans built, we would claim that somebody else built it. We
Arabians,
Byzantinians, Romans,
Mesopotamians.
they completely. So, really a lot of African sites that are now considered, definitely African and certainly worth preserving and further study, and we are studying some of them.
Trying.
Many of them were discovered because white anthropologists were out there looking for the lost white tribe of Africa.
Yeah.
And they did this because it was
they just the thought of it.
They were so racist. They were so
hell-bent on
and they needed that. They needed that narrative so that they could justify what they were doing to
this is our land, not
the people
yours.
who gave us absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So, by the end of this week, we discovered Africa gave us her land, her riches, her blood, her genius, her literal genius, her art, her engineering, her mathematics, her medicine, her architecture, and we have done less than not even say thank you. So, I'm going to shout out some names of some of the vendors who really damaged this story. But just so you know, if you go and you look at various histories, even on YouTube, right now, you're going to find histories that show you, first of all, very European-looking Sumerians.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is because they literally took images of other peoples that have been passing them off as Sumerians for so long now. That was really stunning to find out, I thought,
Yeah.
Also, I don't know, I am so naive. I am so naive sometimes. So, you know how all the old statues, so many of them, their noses or faces are broken off?
Yeah.
And, I legitimately believed most of my life that was just, weathering, old treasure hunters.
Why
Maybe they'd been done in ancient wars. Well, it just never... I mean, the nose is kind of a protrusion, so I figure, if somebody's going to be throwing rocks over the walls or whatever, that's the thing that's going to go, right?
Busted off, too.
I get it. But, I never thought, I didn't realize how much of that, all of it, was deliberate defacement.
Uh-huh.
And that defacement was done to attempt to wipe black features off of the faces of this important artistic work so that you would not know
they were black.
That black people were a part of the story.
Yeah.
You were never supposed to see that, and so they wiped off noses, they completely erased faces. That is not erosion, that was deliberate, racist destruction. It was pure destruction.
It was destruction of our heritage.
It was an attempted cultural genocide, and honestly, an effective one.
Yeah. It's an erasure of world history. It is an erasure of our heritage of people who live on this planet.
Everything. And that phrase that we heard over and over again this week. History makes sense when you stop leaving Africa out of the picture, and it really does in so many ways.
Yeah.
So I wanna hit on some key figures. Samuel George Morton, sorry. And this is a walk of shame list. These people are not being shouted out because they're being called out for being terrible.
Big middle finger to them.
He was an American physician and anthropologist in the mid-19th century. Morton amassed a vast collection of human skulls, which he used to develop a theory called polygenism. I think many of you may have heard of this before, but basically the idea was that the size and the prettiness of the skull was somehow a determination of brain size, and brain size was a determination of intelligence. So first, it turns out not only is brain size not a determination of intelligence, but even if it were, slightly smaller brains might actually be slightly smarter than slightly larger brains. That's still not really the determinant factor. But smaller brains do have less surface area for the neurons to have to fire across, so...
Right, that makes sense.
They might make connections ever so slightly quicker. And he wound up actually, like his perfect white person's skull didn't even turn out to be an actual white person's skull, and he picked it because it was pretty.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so he was a horrible human being. His work was widely influential, and his theories were used to justify slavery and segregation in the United States.
Oh.
So, Eternal Walk of Shame, Samuel George Morton. Also, another Eternal Walk of Shame for Charles Hamilton Smith. He was a British naturalist and ethnologist. He came up with, and I should have looked this up. You know, you only want to dig so deep into the dirt sometimes because, you know, I don't like digging into disgusting racist stuff. It's disgusting.
Right.
But he came up with a proponent called the Hermetic hypothesis.
Oh, geez, that sounds bad.
Yeah, it posited that African cultures were the result of external influence rather than indigenous developed. So basically he said, oh, what we do find in Africa, other people brought that to them. They couldn't have possibly done it themselves. Yeah.
Wow.
Turns out that's exactly the other way around.
Yeah. What I found.
That theory was used to deny the agency and creativity of the African people, reinforcing the notion that they were incapable of achieving greatness without external guidance. And there we get to that whole Anunnaki myth again. So, you know, the whole Anunnaki legend posits over and over again, humans could not have possibly built something this advanced. So they must have had extraterrestrials or angels or something come and show them how. And the only reason that anybody could possibly buy that theory is if they just ignored the 200,000 years ago, 200,000 years worth of African advancement, slowly but steadily actually getting us to these points. And they did, and there is a progression of that. Anybody who claims that, oh, there's no logical progression.
There absolutely is. Look at that.
They're absolutely wrong. Now, I think most of those people are wrong without knowing that they're wrong. They're repeating things. The fairy tale is fun.
They're not doing all that.
I don't think the vast majority of them, I think, and that's kind of why we're pointing this out. I think a lot of people don't have any idea how racist it is, how insulting it is. So here's the other thing, like, it is insulting to humanity to claim that aliens had to make us what we are.
Right.
Yeah, that's not the case.
Awesome.
Yeah, we are, in fact, on our own planet,
species.
an amazing species. We are that cool. Yes, we did these things ourselves. There's a logical and clear progression of how humans made, not big leaps. You know,
no, it's
it was little leaps here, little leaps there, little leaps there.
Process.
And cooperation, sharing, trading,
being in different places,
living in harmony generally with each other.
Yeah.
And it appears that there was quite a bit of going on about that. So,
I mean, I'll be talking about that kind of stuff in my next episode with the Atarian and the Mousterian cultures.
So yes, Eternal Walk of Shame, Charles Hamilton Smith. And another Eternal Walk of Shame, eternal. Eternal, forever and ever. The French anthropologist Georges Cuvier. He played a significant role in perpetuating racist views. His work was on the classification of human races.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's a thing?
Yes. Yes, he was notorious for his dismissive and dehumanizing attitude towards African people in particular. A lot of these people really did, they made these charts, and these charts wound up like in academic journals and crap. So they basically had And I mean, I'll bet there are places where you could probably still
them
find
today.
or at least the vestige of it, right?
Like the remnants of it.
It's so deeply baked into the way so these textbooks are written.
Yeah.
But they basically, had Caucasians, white people, Europeans. They had white Europeans at the top of the list, and everybody else was supposed to be
which is bullshit, because we don't even show up as white genetics until 3,000 years ago. We were actually the youngest.
5,000
years ago, sorry. Yeah, we were actually the
It didn't spread for 3,000 years ago.
Race on the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I guess never mind. So Eternal Walk of Shame for French anthropologist Georges. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right. Georges Cuvier. I don't speak French. Sorry. Well, you know what? He is not worth pronouncing his name right because he was a jerk.
And you yell at me about pronouncing people's names right. And
not bona fide racists.
Some of these people were jerks.
Okay, well, new rule. If they're an unapologetic racist, it doesn't matter if we get their name wrong.
Yeah.
Or bigot of any kind. Okay.
Deal.
And okay, another walk of shame. German anthropologist Leo Frobenius. Leo Frobenius, early 20th century.
Wow.
So here we go, 1900s. He emerged as a key figure in the field of African studies. It does say here that some of his work was groundbreaking, but I ain't giving anybody who's a racist any credit at all. He perpetuated the idea that African cultures were all static and unchanging. So by the time he gets around, basically Africa's been destroyed.
Groundbreaking is that they're just static and unchanging.
No, he did. It said he did different groundbreaking work on their cultures. But here's the thing: by the time he shows up, Africa's basically been destroyed, and now he goes in there and he looks around and he goes, "Oh, these people haven't changed for thousands of years. They just didn't change at all." Anyway, I suppose that's easy to do when you completely arrest the development of an entire continent by. Well, not just raise the entire continent by robbing it blind for hundreds of years. So yeah, Eternal Walk of Shame for that jerk too. And I think that probably is going to do it. There are others. We're gonna walk of shame a lot of archaeologists, and we gotta be careful about this too, because a lot of times when we use the word archaeologist and we're referring to people in the 1800s or even the early 1900s, they were not archaeologists, they were treasure hunters.
Yeah.
And even the ones who have, actual bona fides just pretty much walked in there, robbed a bunch of treasure, and the responsible ones sent it to the British Museum.
Locked it away in a vault.
Locked away in a vault.
It might as well still be buried.
Yeah, they never they don't use it to educate the public.
They barely want to take it out. They want to deny
They are hoarding treasures that never belonged to them.
Yeah.
And they're robbing an entire continent and many, many, many cultures worth of people. Ancient people.
Spoiler, they blew the fucking tops of the Nubian pyramids right off with dynamite because they were looking for treasure. Sorry, spoiler alert for 6,000 years from now.
Yeah.
But, just to put an example on, what we've been doing. We literally just to look for treasure, blew the tops off of pyramids that predate the Egyptian pyramids.
Yeah. Oh, wait till we tell you what happened to the capital city at Great Zimbabwe. It's the worst travesty. It's one of the you know, people get sad about the Library of Alexandria, and but that happened probably from a natural disaster, right? Or was it war or natural disaster? I don't know.
I think it's a combination of things, but we'll get to that when we talk about
we'll get to
that point in history.
But Great Zimbabwe, what was left of it was ransacked and destroyed purely for European greed.
Yeah.
And to prove a false theory, and it's just, it's such a travesty. We'll get to that story. It's centuries away, actually. We won't get to that story anytime soon. That's why I wanted to bring it up now. Before we go, you want to tell us where we're headed next week?
Next week, we head to Northwest Africa, where we are exploring everywhere from the Cameroon up to Morocco, all the way to western Libya. We are getting some amazing information on climate, DNA, and I will also be exploring some beautiful cultures and the development of languages as well as early rituals of humanity. Since I've been down this rabbit hole for a couple
you've been putting your heart and soul in it.
If you pay for our subscription, if you eventually pay for this, you'll get a video clip of us talking about some of the rabbit hole I've been down. I've been really dumping my heart and soul into this.
I don't think we have paid subscriptions set up yet.
No, we don't. But that will be a thing.
But we will.
And that, like, I have found so much. I have really, like, we are talking about rewriting history. I'm going to start filling in the story now.
Right. Yeah, no, we're definitely at that point. It's time to start filling in the gaps and telling the story.
Tonight was a rant about our struggle.
Yeah, and it's a rant.
Story.
It's a rant we'll be on again.
And
we did want to show you some of those really beautiful. So South Africa is
gorgeous.
It is beautiful. Its people are the oldest in the world, and it has
earliest signs of fire and the development
of art.
Yeah,
the development of art, the development of a workshop.
Yeah.
It's like
so join us next week for the continuation of this development. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment if you love what we're doing. I know we love what we're doing.
We love what we're doing. We're having an absolute blast. We basically don't do anything else right now.
If you really want to help us out, hit that like button. My New Year's resolution is to hit 100 subscribers. So come on, guys, make my New Year's resolution happen.
Yeah,
hit that like button.
You do that.
Share us.
Share. Yeah.
Get us out there. Help us hit that 100 subscribers. That's my goal. So far, every time I post a video, we've been gaining one.
At least one, yeah.
We're small. We have no history skills whatsoever, but this is an adventure we love.
I wouldn't say no history skills. We
don't have the degrees.
We have no degrees.
We have no degrees.
And we will be working on improving the video quality continuously, as we have no degrees in that either.
Yeah,
but we do have some ideas. Things are going to get better.
Hopefully,
we are working on improving sound and video quality. And
hopefully we will have some photographs available for next week's episode as well.
That is the big hope.
And that's
we
our big
want to be able to show you
weekend.
guys some of the amazing things we get to look at while we're on this journey. Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have some photos, and we'll make sure we're able to show some of the photos from this episode as well, just because Wonderwerk Cave and Blombas Cave definitely do deserve a peek at if we're able to. I think they're gorgeous sites. And so with all that being said, let's join us next week.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Bye. And live long and prosper.